Forgot to start recording again. Quality material about Peter Andre, lost forever. Why is he not allowed back in Australia? Because he's a really shit singer. He's horrible. No, I was joking. There's just no one wants him here. I do think it's really funny that he's huge in Australia. He's huge in the UK, and he literally would not be recognised in Australia. Deaf Ninja, it was only my voice, my Australian accent. Peter Andre still has an Australian accent. Water pills lousing you up. Okay, thanks for sharing. Speaking of pills, I had something that was supposed to stop my congestion. I should take one, or two, or 5 times the recommended usage. It's a placebo. Wait, they're all gone. Why would I put that back in the packet when they're all gone? Ew. Hey, speaking about placebo, that just reminded me. You know, the band Placebo. Does everyone here know the band Placebo? With the really pseudo cross-dresser lead singer Brian Molko. I'm a big fan of Placebo. I like their music. But I really like Brian Molko because in an interview once, he just had the best comeback for a heckler ever. He said because they do a sort of edgy sort of metal sound, they got booked at some metal festival in Europe, and they're playing, and because they're more sort of emo looking, and Brian Molko is very effeminate looking, and he wears makeup and stuff. And he was getting really hassled by this metal crowd, and between songs he told them to fuck off, and he said, look, I'm just working here. I'm working. You know, just don't hassle me while I'm working. Do I come around when you're working and knock the sailors' dicks out of your mouth? No, I don't. So leave me alone. Best comeback to a heckle ever. I'm going to take some pills. I use that on people all the time. Someone's giving me the shits. Do I knock sailors' dicks out of your mouth when you're working? No, leave me alone. You have an auntie in Melbourne. You just sounded like Sean Connery. Oh, God. I was tempted for a minute to attempt a bad Sean Connery, and I won't. Miss Redberries, is that why you shipped her out to Australia? She's not a favourite aunt. Sean Connery is sadly probably not long for this world, actually. Dane Cook, are you going to see Dane Cook live or on TV? Oh, okay, you've just got contact back with your dad. That's good. Okay, I've seen one of Dane Cook's TV specials and I was like, oh. I can sort of see why he's popular, because he amps up the crowd, and it's this very sort of camaraderie thing, and they get in with him. He actually doesn't tell many jokes, though. He doesn't do much that's actually funny. James Brown. No, I don't know anything about James Brown. Oh, Jude Barris. Winston Churchill was the #1 insulter in history because he was drunk most of the time. Another good Winston Churchill line where he's being rude to someone, possibly that same woman that he said the ugly sober line to. She said, oh, you're such a rude man. If you were my husband, I would put poison in your tea. And Winston said, if I was your husband, I'd drink it. That was just like good. Who's a good comedian? I just got Tim Minchin. Tim Minchin is awesome. Tim Minchin is very funny. Someone said Ross Noble. I've seen Ross Noble a lot. He's very funny as well. Very good improviser. I actually have this huge collection of video that I've never put on. A friend of mine was running a comedy night, and with all local comedians, and what's his name? Ross Noble was hosting, and the host of a comedy night normally does 5-minute bits between each act, and that was the time that had been allowed for, because Ross Noble improvises. His 5-minute bits would go 30 minutes. It was so funny. Oh, and Redberry's also asked, yes, Lee Evans. He's not a big mainstream star in Australia, but I do know him, and he is funny, yes. Chaos Theory saying Obama was funny at the Correspondents' Dinner. Yes, he was. But you know, in all honesty, who is funny, who's a good comedian, and I'm not joking, I'm not being cynical, I'm not being sarcastic, George W. Bush is a very funny person. He's a very good comedian. Fucking hate the guy with a passion. He raped the entire world, but he is a very, very good comedian. He has great timing, he empathizes with people, and he's just fucking funny. Which I hate, because when someone's funny, it makes me respect them more. And I fucking hate Bush, but he's really funny. George W. Bush, the recently passed over US president. He is fucking funny. And plus he has mad ninja skills. The way he dodged those shoes the dude threw at him. Bush is a bad speaker and is an extremely shallow person, which is why when he's ever interviewed and speaking publicly, he sounds like a fucking moron, because he's never applied himself to anything. He's never had to. He's a spoiled rich kid. He's not a down-home Texan person. He's a rich fucking aristocrat from Connecticut. And he's never applied himself to anything, so he's not a good speaker, and so he always says stupid things. But he's a good comedian. He's really funny. Bushisms. There's hundreds of Bushisms. He said hundreds of really stupid things. But, I mean, he's a jerk. He came close to destroying America. He fucked over things all around the world. God. Oh, Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown doesn't get that much coverage here, but I have to admit I do not like a lot of policies that have been enacted, particularly things with privacy and surveillance and laws and detention. There's some weird fucking shit going on in the UK. And of course, Brown didn't start it. Blair started it, but Brown's pushing it forward, no problem. And he's a weird-looking dude too. He's a weird-looking dude. I was saying, JFK said he was jelly donut because he said, I'm a Berliner, and a Berliner is like a Danish, and it's like saying I'm a Danish. But it's actually correct German to say a person from Berlin is a Berliner, so to say I'm a Berliner actually was correct, although you could twist it to say he said I'm a jelly donut. You're absolutely right. Alright, Jude Maris, you keep making me choke on my drink when I read your lines. Truman said, you want a friend in Washington, get a dog. That is brilliant. I love that. That's really good. Oh dear. Yes, no sane person goes into politics to make friends, because you have to fuck people over big time to make any headway in politics. Oh dear, I finished another round of ice, and I'm coming up to my 6th 10-minute video, which means I've been here over an hour, which means I'm gonna go away now, because it's also lunchtime. It's coming up to noon here in Australia. So I'm going to go after this impromptu show. I am indeed Ice Boy. 3am. Yeah, well, Weird Stuff Animation and Miss Redberries, I'm glad you're having fun, but you guys in the UK should be in bed. That's all I'm saying. And I keep